all the teachers and saints coming in our lineage. So you can listen closely. It's very purifying, and it's actually purifying the whole atmosphere and establishing the bubble of blessings. So, Om Jnanatirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Shri Shakanditam Shcha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantarada Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutte Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasavi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Shri Krishna Padme Shrimate Radhanath Swami Nityananda Shrimate Krishna Krishna Padme Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Okay, thank you for being with me. And tonight we will be speaking about a very interesting topic, decoding the matrix, the three elements of it. So before we start, I wanted to ask you a question. There is usually this debate, is this world an illusion or is it reality? What is it, this world that we are living in? Is it real or is it illusion? What would you say? How many of you would say it's illusion, and how many of you are that it's reality? You can also say percentage-wise, like, let's say like this. It's illusion, it's full reality, something in the middle. What would you say? Huh? Something like this, both hands, huh? In the middle? So let's see, I would ask a couple of you, what would you say? How many percentage is it reality? 0 means full illusion, 100% means complete reality.
I don't know.
Natalia, 50-50, huh? 50%. What did you say?
Something like that, depending on the perception, yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
I'd say like it's reality to us, but then you always get a better perspective from higher up. So I think like maybe something higher up is like, oh, that's like not real. You know what I mean? Like you always think it's real when you're living in it. So it's real based on what we know, but then maybe the bigger picture shows that it's not so real.
Okay, then we zoom out. So when we are close to the thing, it's 100% reality. When we zoom out, it's going towards the 0 or something. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Interesting. What would you say?
I would say the world itself is reality, but how we perceive it is the illusion.
Interesting. Wise. Somebody else? Piano?
It's very similar. Like for me, I feel this is reality, like, but yeah, it goes through the glasses we have each one. But this is the possibility of really like seeing what is real, like yeah, like tangible. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting, thank you.
It's 100% illusion, but we have presumed reality.
Okay, so we have 0% reality. That's good. We need to have different viewpoints, of course.
I think we create our own reality in our minds through our thoughts.
But in the
But
essence,
in the bigger picture, I go back to what was said earlier, that when we zoom out,
goes towards illusion. Huh?
yeah.
What did you say, Alex?
Yes, I think it's illusion, but we experience it as reality. We experience every day what we see, what we touch, what we taste. But beyond that, it's an illusion.
Yeah, it ties in with I think what has already been said. So I think we do live in a reality. If I step on a nail, my foot will bleed. So this is real, and I will have pain, and this is real. But then the question is this the ultimate reality, or is it only a representation? So I think also, like, if you zoom out, then you realize that, like, all of that is actually just an illusion.
Wonderful. You are so wise, all of you. Nice perspectives. So it's interesting how to combine that all together. How would you there is one comparison that we can use that we are in many ways using in modern world. It's called some kind of reality. Huh? Virtual reality. Okay, interesting. But what would be virtual reality? Vedic scriptures didn't know about VR, what we are using today. They were using a different comparison. That it is a reflection. A reflection. So in the tradition, in Bhakti Vedanta scriptures and coming from Vedanta, it says that this world is a reflection of the reality. Like when you see yourself in the mirror, you can perceive yourself, but is that you? It's not. It's a reflection. If you analyze that reflection, what it is? It is some light on the piece of glass with some aluminium foil or whatever, reflected back into our eyes. It looks like reality, but it doesn't have any substance of reality. So this is also what virtual reality does. It usually is made on something that we already know, or some variation of something that we know. We combine human being with the head of some animal, and then it's a virtual reality. And it looks like similar to something that we have experienced, but it doesn't have any substance. It doesn't mean that that will not bleed. Also, like reflection, if we cut ourselves, it will bleed, we will experience the emotions, and we are in the game, and we are just like absorbed. How many of you were gaming before? Some of you playing games? Not popular anymore? Now, what is not popular? How do you say that? Is it binging or like watching series one after another? Huh? Binge watching. Yeah. That's Netflix and other things. But yeah, in the games, when you play a game and you emotionally get involved, it's real. It's there. Like somebody's attacking us. We are escaping. We want to achieve something. We want to, like not get hurt. And if somebody kills us, we are, oh no. Why did it happen? How can you do that? Something like that. we are fully emotionally involved, and it's real. It is real in that moment. But if we understand and we zoom out, like some of you were saying, we understand it's just a virtual reality. It doesn't have to do anything with the true reality. It's a reflection. But through our experience, it seems so real. That's why I like the Matrix movie. How many of you watch Matrix? Which pill would you take? Blue or red one? Huh? No pills. No, we just go forward. Yeah, so the nature of reflections and the virtual reality that it has its roots in a reality. So Vedic scriptures also explain that we and all of this that we experience, it has roots in reality. That's why we can so easily connect to it and we can experience it as a spirit soul who is traveling through this human experience and through this world. And also reflections have something interesting. They are usually opposite reality. Usually they have when you see it also in this world, we are all seeking for love. But in general, what we are looking for is lust. We are trying to enjoy other person. We are looking for being greedy. So in opposite way, love in its substance is unselfish. It doesn't have to do with me enjoying somebody or enjoying something, being greedy, being lust. Completely opposite. Completely opposite. Unselfish. Wanting to please somebody without wanting to get out of it. And lust and greed is just getting out of something, enjoying myself. Doesn't matter if I will exploit that person, if I will go above many others to get my goals and achieve my ambitions. So this is very interesting. Would you agree, connect with that explanation? It unites all of these things that you were saying, also how it reflects that when you are very close, it looks real, but when you zoom out, it's a little more, less real. And also, some were saying 50-50, so it's in the middle. It is real and it is not real, and it is, so it has that nature. And especially, like we are here in a spiritual community, if we were maybe in the West on some economical forum, everybody would go for 100% real, of course. But we are here more thoughtful and looking more, zooming out from the real situation, understanding that there is much more there. So, why am I asking that? Because this world, reflections in virtual reality, is being created when we want to experience something that we cannot in reality. So usually you would not make a virtual reality of driving a bicycle. Why would you do that? You take a bicycle, driving a bicycle here on the road towards the Nilkant Bridge, and you have the whole virtual reality. I'm driving a bicycle, and the cars are beeping, and the cow is on the road, and all of this. Why to do that? We can experience that. Virtual reality climbing to Nilkant Mahadev, and you are in Rishikesh. Why would you do that? Maybe if you are in the West, then it has a sense, because you cannot achieve it in reality. You need to use virtual reality. One friend of mine was telling me, oh, I want these VR glasses, I want to experience how it is standing on the edge of the skyscraper, And I was saying, why don't you do that? Why do you need VR glasses? You will not jump. You just go there, stand, and look down, And no need for virtual reality. Because they do that to experience the fear, No problem, just go and stand and go over your fear. But something else like jumping and flying, we need virtual reality. So let's take Alex. Or if he's shy, we can take Natalia, whoever you want, or we can take them both. Let's take them both. So Alex, let's say that he's good in programming. And he's an expert programmer. And Natalia is a very good friend. And she comes to Alex, Alex, I always wanted to fly. I really wanted to fly. I have this desire from a young age. I really want to see how it is to fly. I'd really like to become a bird or have a superhuman powers to be able to fly like a Superman. And Alex says, oh, no problem. I can fulfill your desire. And he says, let me program this for you. And also in his house, have you seen these devices which are being used as artificially floating in the air? It's like strong fans, which,
It's like a wind tunnel, right?
It's not like a drone, it's just blowing from the bottom, and then you're just floating in the air. I saw that they even have competitions in acrobatic dance inside of it. Like, it's really interesting, like you are dancing in falling through the air, It's like we are trying to be innovative about many interesting things in today's world. So, but let's say he has the device, and then he has these VR goggles, and then he also has the AC, so he can adjust the temperature, and very, very high definition speakers. And he tells to Natalia, now put these VR goggles. You know what is VR goggles? This is what you put over the eyes. And he said, now sit here, and he puts the program on, and she sees, oh, I'm sitting on a beautiful plane. And then he says, okay, now I want to fly. And he turns this device and she starts floating. And she starts feeling the air in her hair. And then she starts flying higher. And then the sound starts to change and the temperature starts to change. And she starts flying over to different areas. She comes to Rishikesh and to Nilkant and to Devprayag, then goes somewhere else. Where would you like to go? Everywhere. Varanasi, Kerala, Vrindavan. She'll just go flying, and going around, wow. It's amazing, isn't it? Fulfilling her desire. And Alex is watching. And he's happy. He fulfilled Natalia's desire, And then she comes back and she said, oh, wow, this was amazing. Thank you so much. This was such a big desire. And she's fully grateful. And Alex is happy. Thank you. I'm very grateful that I could fulfill your desire because you are very dear to me, But then she says, you could program this. But what if I could live in a big palace and have where? In which part of the world, let's say? Here. Something, maybe, whatever, big palace on the top of Himalayas, in a green part, where Ganga is just coming for you, no rafters, no cars, nothing. Just you and Mother Ganga in the nature, beautiful, pristine, no plastic, nothing. And outside of that, let's say that you can pick any actor or some famous person to be your spouse. Who would that be?
Why are you making this question?
Pick somebody, just first person.
I'm just going to put Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, okay, let's hear that Brad Pitt. He knows her very good, so. And he says, okay, I always wanted to marry Brad Pitt, And Alex says, okay, no problem, let's do that, let's program. Now with AI, it's very easy to program things. Before you would need to 3D model everything, it takes so much time, and you just say, okay, AI, please make me Brad Pitt in this virtual reality with the Himalayas and all of this, and he does everything, and she puts again, wow, Ganga, just for me, birds, no trumpets, no cars, no rafters, nothing. I can just be there, meditate with Brad Pitt next to me. And few servants who will just cook and clean and I can just relax. What do you do now? And then Alex is watching, and Natalia is becoming more and more engrossed into that reality. She stays very long time, like starts to get children with Brad Pitt. Like so
I wasn't watching
there is some blurring parts. And like he's looking, okay, but when is Natalia going to come back? I miss her, like her association, like she's just totally indulged into that virtual reality, like what to do now? If I pull her out, she would be unhappy. She would be distressed, like I need to come back to Rishikesh with all the rafters, all the honking, all the trash, and sorry, Rishikesh is beautiful. But like when you ride on a horse and then jump on a donkey, it's there is a curse. May you have and then lose it. You know that. So that's a bigger curse than not having anything and then losing, because you get attached to something, And then you don't appreciate anymore what you already have, because Rishikesh is beautiful, But when you add all of these things on top of it, then you get attached. This is a problem of having many things. And then he doesn't want that she gets distressed. So he's very smart. And then he says, okay, let me download 3 programs into this virtual reality. And you know what would be those 3 programs? Have you read the description of the talk?
Time, karma,
Time, karma, and Guṇas. So he downloads those 3 programs. Those 3 programs of material world. So our true nature as a pure spirit soul is that we are having pure love, compassion, and sensitivity. Love means when we try to please others, not thinking about ourselves. That is a pure definition of love. When our happiness comes, when other person is happy. And we want to make that person happy, like Alex wants to make Natalia happy. So his pleasure comes from her being happy. But because he knows that that would not make her truly happy, because it's virtual, it's not truly addressing her real needs, her needs that are there, body needs, and many other that are her true needs, He knows that she will be sooner or later unhappy, and she will not know why. She will be suffering, but not understanding why. Because her desires are being fulfilled, but she's not nurtured properly. So that's why he downloads those programs. And because we try to experience love in a wrong way, we become distressed. And then karma, as a program, that's how Kaustuba says, it's a universal law to become sensitive. Because if we are not sensitive, we get a reaction. If we are not cautious how we act towards others, we get something so that we can learn to be more sensitive. We can understand how others are feeling. If we are very rough, if we are very selfish, if we don't take in consideration other feelings, we hurt other people, other living entities, we get some reaction. And that reaction is there to teach us, to help us to grow, to become more compassionate, to become more loving. In the essence, to become more closer to our true nature. What is our true nature? That we don't forget that. Because maybe she becomes hedonist or whatever, starts doing, sorry for using your example, but she's a good friend, so she knows that it's just like for the educational purposes. But in today's world, when persons try to enjoy their senses too much, they go in crazy extremes. They start hurting each other. They start doing abominable things because they want to squeeze this material energy in such a way, and they don't get the juice, so they're squeezing more, and not satisfied fully because they're not addressing their true nature. So in order to not go in that direction, there is karma, so that we don't start hurting, becoming too greedy, too lusty, going over others to fulfill our selfish desires. Could you connect with what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to really present it in a way that it's practical. And in that way, karma is educational. It's not made for us to suffer, but like parents, sometimes when a child is naughty, they do something so that he understands, oops, it's not good that I do that. It would not be good for me. Parents are very compassionate, loving, and they know what is good for the child because they're grown up. So sometimes they need to do some small corrections for the child to grow up. So that's why karma is there. Is there any questions regarding karma? You could understand why Alex has downloaded the karma into the virtual reality so that Natalia doesn't develop some wrong character traits in that virtual reality, so that she can stay the Natalia that he knows. Because after time passes, so many things can happen in our mind. And then he downloads another program, and that is time. Before everything was okay, she was young and beautiful, and Brad Pitt also like that. But then, when the time comes, then things start to deteriorate. We start becoming old, wrinkles come on our face. Like we start getting, like different deformations, maybe health issues or this or that, so that we see that this is not a place for us. It's not our place where we truly belong. It's something artificial. It's a virtual. It's not natural that we die. That's why we are afraid of it, because it's not natural that we stop existing. We as an eternal spirit soul, we are eternal. And if somebody tells us that we should die, it's a shock. No, I don't want to even think about it. I don't want to handle that. How can I stop existing? And what to do when we understand that the time is also passing and that the end is nearing. The video game, the virtual reality is coming to an end. It's not a limited thing, it's just, it takes some time so that we can, understand that this is not our true place. Even though it maybe try again and again. Isn't it? Binging. Binge again and again. Trying to grasp that enjoyment. Even though it's like, it says in Vedic scripture, it's like a chewing, not in Vedic scriptures, but teachers compare that, I have heard a couple of times, chewing a chewing gum, which you have already chewed. So you have chewed it, and the taste has gone, but you still continue chewing it because you want more taste. But the taste doesn't come. So you just try again and again and again. Have you experienced that, trying to enjoy this material world? In the beginning it has some taste, but as more as we try to indulge into that thing, it becomes tasteless. And then we are frustrated. Why? I want that taste. But it's virtual. It's not long-lasting. It's not something that will fulfill us for a long time. That's why people start doing all of these crazy things, because in the beginning they felt something, but later on it disappears. And then they want to squeeze more and more and more. But it doesn't go like that. It doesn't go like that. We are just searching for the wrong place. How many of you have experienced that? Enjoying something and then the taste waning. But if it would be true, why would it wane? It should expand, it should grow, it should become better and better, isn't it? The more we do something that is good, it should become better. It should not diminish in its reality, you know. So that is what time shows us. It shows us, it teaches us that this is not our place, our true place where we are meant to be. We can see that because it's not natural. And then the third one is the Guṇas. How many of you know what are the Guṇas? Okay, few of you. How many Guṇas are there? 3. Yes. So Guṇas means modes of material nature. So those are material energies that influence this whole reality. That it's like a law of gravity. It's like a law of physics. You know, like it's just a law, subtle law of material nature that has 3 qualities. Those are okay. So Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. Okay, somebody translate. What is Rajas?
Action. Negative.
Stimulating.
Okay, action, energy. Translation is passion. Those are the qualities of the passion. Yes. What is Tamas? Lethargy, heaviness, negativity.
Negative.
Okay, so all of these qualities, and the translation is ignorance. Sattva,
Pious.
pious, content, beautiful qualities, huh? It's goodness. So there is ignorance, passion, and goodness. Those 3 energies are intertwined into the whole material world. Under their influence, we experience different influences in this world. So it's like when you see that virtual reality on a screen, you know from how many colors that whole reality is made. 3 colors, isn't it? Very interesting. RGB or VML. So, depending on what you're using. So 3 colors. It's always 3 colors. Our eyes, you know how many colors they perceive? Same. So we are just composing the whole reality out of these 3 energies. So Tamas, Rajas, and Sattva, how much we associate with each of those energies, that's how much we experience their influence. And their association is being done through everything that we do. What we watch on the TV, on our phone, which people we associate with, what food we are eating, when we are doing, in which part of the day we are doing different activities. All of these aspects have those 3 modes. So let's be practical. If we wake up early in the morning, and what energy that would be under? Sattva, mode of goodness. Mode of goodness is very predominant in the morning. So I understand that some people, not here, but when I'm in the West, I know that people change their biorhythm, so they are sometimes more productive in the night. But in general, if you are tuned into the nature and our biorhythm and how our body works, in the morning we can be the most peaceful and calm. Then, in the middle of the day, where the sun is strong and a lot of things are happening, what energy is predominant there? Rajas. So in that moment, try to meditate, especially in October here in Rishikesh, when the sun is blazing and the passion is very there. Rafters are jumping, screaming, not only that, but then somebody next to you is blasting on the Bluetooth speaker some Bollywood songs, and monkeys maybe trying to steal something from your bag. Try to meditate in that moment. It's very hard because the passion. It's a time of activities, time of energy, And then in the evening, like if your body rhythm is tuned into the natural way, in the evening, body becomes, like wants to rest, wants to go to sleep. And then trying also to meditate or do something like that, it can be very hard. Very, very hard. Because we want to sleep, we want to rest. People today want to party, things like that. So we'll put it in a different. That's an interesting discussion. But also food. Depends what food you eat. If you eat, there is many sattvic restaurants around, but not all are sattvic. It's a very good, value proposition. But what does sattvic mean? Food that is cooked, like lightly, without many chilies, masalas, and different things, like that is fresh, that is made, like from good vegetables, good ingredients, that nourishes the body, the mind, and everything. Rajasic food is usually with a lot of masalas, spices, deep fried, and things that usually pump that support our diabetes, also what is the other disease with the fat, cholesterol, and things like that, So it's things that are very tasty, but that are not so beneficial long-term for us. And then ignorance would be food that's old, stale, tasteless, like rotten, all of these things that produce disease, like made in unclean environment. In India, I've seen so many things. But in one street pizzeria, like the guy is making pizzas, and then the cow is coming and eating from those bowls, and then sweeping the floor with something, then sweeping the the same place where pizzas are made. It's so fun. You can see that in the West also. I'm not criticizing India. I love India. That's why I'm here. But I'm just saying that you can see many different realities. What is different on in India, you can see it directly. It's not hidden. In West, everything is hidden. You cannot see things. Everything is in glass. Everybody pretends to be very diplomatic and very, aristocratic, but inside, rotten. I'm not saying everybody, but this is the way how it is. So those different, so we were speaking about the time of the day, eating, also the people we associate, if they are very passionate, they want to enjoy, they're speaking about what kind of bodily features ladies or men have, cars, sports, that would be in which mode? Rajas, in a passion, isn't it? In the mode of goodness, what would people speak? They would be doing yoga, like when three yogis are in the cave, and then and then one yogi says, sees the mouse and says, "Oh, mouse is there." And the other yogi after one day says, "Oh, really?" And where? And the third yogi after 2 days says, "Okay, you two, please stop fighting." So people in the mode of goodness, they are more calm, peaceful, thoughtful. They will not react immediately. They will pause, think about it, and then respond in the best way, what would be the best for that person, for oneself, and for everyone around. not just impulsively acting. And how would people in the mode of ignorance act?
Like can't be asked to learn, or not interested by things.
Okay.
Spontaneous.
Okay, that's more passion. Yes, maybe something happens and they go in the bar to treat their unhappiness with a bottle of liquor or
Gossip.
gossip negatively, yeah, or falling in depression. You know, like, oh, that person told me I'm worthless. Yes, I am. I am the worst person, yeah. I am the ugliest. I am not worthy of others' love. You know, like I should just go in a bar and drench my unhappiness in some whiskey or whatever. So this is the mode of ignorance, you know, like taking the intoxicants, being depressed, and all of these different negative emotions that are harming. And if we associate with such kind of people, what will happen? Yes, we usually become there were even social experiments, how to say, anyway, researchers that were made that our personality and our character is made out of 5 persons that we take most shelter in, that we most open our heart, most closely associate, and most intimately allow to come into our life. So this is how it works. It shapes us. Their influence, their, you know, like consciousness, it shapes us. So we should be careful. And this is how the modes work. So why Alex downloaded these modes? So that Natalie can understand what is her nature, what is the nature of this world, what she should be associating with, how she should be acting according to her true nature in the mode of goodness, how she could have more free will. If she acts more in the mode of goodness, she will have more free will. She will be able to choose things wisely, what is good for her, what is good for others. She will be able to, possible to emphasize those kind of things. And go also to the spirituality, to liberation, because this is what mode of goodness does. If we are just running around wanting to create, to develop, to get more money, get better position, better influence, more likes on Instagram, more followers, then mode of passion will influence us. And what will bring? It will bring repetitive birth and death and entanglement in this material world. And if we associate with the mode of ignorance, if we associate with such kind of people, eat such kind of things, watch such kind of horror movies or whatever, it will influence us that we are going to degrade our consciousness and ourselves, and we are going to end up in lower species of life in future lives. This is how it goes. Usually people in the mode of goodness, they are promoted to the higher realms. People in the mode of passion, they are again being born in this world, trying to fulfill their unlimited desires. And people in the mode of ignorance, they are being degraded to the lower species of life so that they would not harm themselves and others. Could you follow? Why is that happening? So that we don't harm. We have less possibility to harm, to create negative karma. And we can just fulfill our desires. If we just want to sleep, why to sleep as a human? You just become a bear. You sleep like 6 months. No problem, you don't need to wake up until the honey starts dripping from the trees, the breakfast has come. Time to wake up. So why to have a human birth when you create karma? As a bear, you don't create any karma. You just, have fulfilled your desires. That's very interesting. You had the hand.
I just wanted to say that we all have all modes, right? So I
Yes.
think it's not people in this mode,
Yes,
because
yes.
I experience all the modes in me. Of course, I prefer the sattvic mode, but for me, it was my own learning experience to always have this in mind, in order to not judge other people too much,
Yes.
because that harms myself if I do that.
It's true. All of these things are not meant to judge others. I'll just do something because mic is not needed. So maybe you can just attach this there so that we can have recording. Just attach it to this. Just turn it on. Yes, it's on. So wherever it's suitable, and so that they can hear also your comments. You can attach it to the cable. So it's on the other side recording now. So it's recording me. Yeah, so it's a good question. So the karma, the gunas, and all of these things are not meant to judge others. Because what we have said is that all of these things are being downloaded into this nature to make us more considerate about others, not to judge them. So the point is that gunas are like RGB. So the picture, you can see a combination of those three colors. But picture can be more red, it can be more green or more blue. Usually it's not just red, green or blue. It's usually a combination, but it can be more natural, more ocean, with a little bit of tinge of green somewhere, or rays of the sun, which is more reddish. Or it can be like a bloody scene of, a red thing with little tinges of, I don't know, imagine things, but that's the point. So we are predominantly in certain modes, and that can also change. Like a virtual presentation on the screen can change. So it depends how we are influenced in different parts of our life of time, it changes. But some people are more dominantly watching the videos of National Geographic, and they have more blue color. Some are more watching, let's say, horror movies, and then there is more black, dark colors. And somebody is more watching, the sport movies. There is a lot of whatever, like excitement or shooting or, like a drama. So it's like that. Even though in that movie it can be different scenes, but something is more dominant. Like you have different genres when you like that in the different movies. So this is how it is. But we should never judge others. It's for us to understand us better. It's not meant to say, oh, you are like that. You deserve to suffer. And that's not for what it is meant. It is meant for us to understand if something happens in our life that we have deserved to grow, to be able to grow. But also when somebody is suffering, we should help that person because we should be compassionate. We should be sensitive. And if we don't help that person, we are going to get negative karmic reaction. It's not that that person needs to suffer. He needs to go through his education, but we need to help. So that's important. Okay. Somebody else? Was this clear? Easy to understand for those of you who haven't heard so much about gunas? Okay, here it is. Okay. If there is some more questions or some thoughts you want to share about this, you're very welcome. And then Alex, after downloading those 3 programs, and naturally now finds, I should if I behave properly, I will be more happy. So she continues maintaining her good character, like he knows Alex from before. And then also she understands, wow, wait, this Brad Pitt, he has become an old guy, like he's not attractive anymore, like, am I really looking for that, or am I looking for something else, And there was a forest fire also in the Himalayas, and so all the cloud burst and Ganga took away the villa. This is what happens in Himalayas. So it's nowhere safe in this material world, And then also, like I was associating too much with monkeys, so like I have become having a monkey mind and becoming distressed, so I should become more peaceful, like a river Ganga, like not being disturbed. So I should cultivate that kind of nature. And then she finally figures out, oh, I have been locked in this virtual reality. I have forgotten what is my true nature. Let me turn back to my true nature. Because I try to be happy in all of these external things, but because it's virtual, I cannot fully enjoy it. It is, interesting for my mind, but I don't feel that Brad Pitt when I hold him. I don't feel that taste when I put it in my mouth. I just visualize those things. There is something missing. And also that is changing. It's not permanent. It's not something that can help me to live fully and truly, to be happy and to be satisfied. Let me go back to my friend and ask him, what have I forgotten? What is my true nature and how to really be happy? And then Alex says, thank you. I am so happy now. Natalie is back. And now finally she can be happy, truly happy. But he provided her that experience because she could not have it otherwise. Maybe she would never be able to meet Brad Pitt, especially in the good years, and find the location in Himalayas with the villa, because the forest department doesn't allow that. Even though if you brag a little bit, it is possible. It works like that. But yeah, this is how this world is functioning. And this is why the Supreme Lord, who loves us unlimitedly, who loves us more than we can ever imagine. Do you know why? You know how many different manifestations of the absolute truth is that we can strive for. We know about the impersonal Brahman, isn't it? So the impersonal Brahman is one of the manifestations of the absolute truth. The second one that yogis look for through meditation is Paramatma. It's a localized form of the Supreme in our hearts. So yoga, dhyana yoga, is meant to connect to our true essence and to connect to that Supreme Lord in the form of Paramatma in our heart. And then there is Bhagavan, personality as a person in his unique form, true transcendental form, with all the qualities and all the features. So sometimes spiritualists are fighting. No, it's one, it's two, it's impersonal, it's personal. No, it's like this. But they just see a limited view. They just see it from one angle. Vedic scriptures explain it has a different perspectives. And the truth is when you understand all of them together. So nothing is good or bad. It's just seeing light, understanding when the light comes from as a sunbeams, and understanding there is a sun planet. So all of those aspects are much better than being in the dark, isn't it? So either having Brahman realization, having Paramatma, Bhagavan, all of those are bona fide processes of self-realization. But why I started to speak about that is because Paramatma is a localized form of the Lord in our hearts which follows us. Do you know why He is there? Why He follows each and every one of us individually? He is there next to us in our heart. Why? Creator is different aspect. That's Brahma. Brahma is actually empowered entity who creates. Origin, absolute truth, is the origin of everything. He takes care of us. Okay, He's there. Sometimes, like when we need to go in some scary situation, like being on a stage or like doing something unknown, we ask some friend to come with us, just that we can feel more secure. Just we know that He's there. He doesn't need to do anything, but we know that we have His support. He's there just cheering for us. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah. Like we're having the whole football, how do you say, not the team, but fans, whole football fan group. So that's one of the reasons. And what is the other?
To remind you of who you are, to remind you of your presence.
He usually doesn't interfere. But as
a feeling, I mean.
As a support, but also to, and when a young child comes and his mother is there, and then he's trying to build a castle of sand, like, oh yes, I'm a big architect, I can build this amazing castle of sand, and it will have all of these things, and then the wave comes. Mama! And the mom goes, okay, now let's put something in front so that the wave doesn't destroy the whole castle, So He's there to help us. He's there with us, not just as a witness, as a support, but to help us when we need. To help all of us who are wandering in this material world without understanding what we are doing, where we are going, like in a dark place, sometimes bumping with the head in the wall, falling over the chairs, breaking the glass, and all of this. We don't know what's happening because we are in the dark. There is no knowledge, there is no understanding. And then there is a friend, and then we turn to him and then say, please, help me. And friend knows. He knows where we are going, he knows what's happening, he knows everything. He has the whole map, he has full understanding and knowledge. Like a young child, when he comes to Mommy! And Mama comes and helps immediately. So Supreme Lord is there to help us because He deeply cares about us. Deeply cares, deeply loves us. And also one interesting thing is that He fulfills our desires. All the desires that we have, He fulfills because He loves us, like Alex. He's always there in the background. Sometimes He blurs some scenes. But he was saying before, he blurs something not to see, okay, I don't want to see this. But in the end, He's there to help. To support, especially if Natalie in the virtual reality comes, so Alex, please, there is this alligator coming, and then, Alex just comes and presses delete. Or presses something that somebody comes and helps out, or does something, it will not delete, it will be not virtual reality then, but Brad Pitt comes, he shifts the ground and Brad Pitt, where is Natalie? And then he comes, see how I took the right person. So, this is what the Supreme Lord does. He helps. And I know so many, I'm honestly telling you, so many situations where persons have turned to the Supreme Lord, how He instantly helped them. In the most awkward situation when their life was threatened and there was no possibility to escape, or like something happened when they turned. You want a few examples? Okay, so one of the persons that I know, he was he was on a spiritual missionary quest, trying to help people, and there was a robber that came and wanted to plunder him, like plunder, yeah, like steal his money and everything, and with a gun. And he was just like, he started to pray, like intensely to the Supreme Lord. He didn't know what to do. And what happened in that moment with the specific prayers, and in that moment, a huge dog, out of nowhere, just jumped on that person and knocked him off while this person just left. And he said, I truly took shelter. Indeed, it was like, like I didn't know what to do. I just took shelter in the Supreme Lord, and this happened. I was just, and just he left. On the other case also, somebody was like one big person who was drunk. They were doing kirtan on the streets. And one big person comes out of the bar, like he wanted to just, like, with that energy, like, I want to kill you, like, why are you doing this? And this and that. And they were just starting, Namaste Narasivaya. That's a prayer to the Supreme Lord. And what happened, in that moment, a car just comes and knocks him off. Like a few meters off, done. So this is just few. There is so many of such kind of instances. I had also myself few, but I was a little crazy when I was a monk. We had like a crazy group of monks. We were doing little adventurous things. So we had also like anyway, let me tell you one thing. So, there was this is one random thing that I can share. In some intimate things usually you don't share because you want to keep them precious, and they disappear if you share them too much. But we were doing kirtan. That was when I was like 15, 20 years ago. And we were doing kirtan tours all over Europe. And we went in, I think it was Kosovo. And it was Ramadan, like, the month when they fast, and that was the last day when they are like fasting, crazy of fasting and everything, and their celebration. And we Hare Krishnas, we just came out of nowhere into the kirtan. They're in front of their jamia, how do you say, mosque. And we didn't have bad intentions. We were doing that everywhere, but we just felt it was a beautiful place, and we didn't know it was end of the Ramadan. And we sat down on the floor, and after 10 minutes, we had like 100 people watching us like this. We were here, and somebody stands like here up to you and watches you like down like this, and we were just like, Hare Krishna. And it was what's going to happen, because they can, do whatever they want to us. And in a moment, there was a transformation of heart. They all started to sing and dance. It was a moment where we took shelter. It completely changed the whole atmosphere. They came angry, full of, whatever, wanted to vent their. When you do austerities and all of these things, it's, you have a lot of tension, But then it transformed, because they didn't know who we are on the end. I think if we came next day, but I'm not against anybody, but I'm just telling you what energy was there. So, and it was a transformation. It was a transformation. And one person started to sing, and then others, and then everybody was singing and dancing on the end. But it was really scary. It was really scary. And not to mention that there was like a war happening a few kilometers away from us, killing each other and crazy things, but still we were there, So there is so many such kind of things, but when we take shelter in the Supreme, He changes the whole situation. He's there to protect us because He loves us. Why I was mentioning all of that? I went a little bit on the, how to say, side road. But I was trying to say that because Alex, He's there to protect, to fulfill desires, and to be there as a support in an unfamiliar atmosphere. And the Supreme Lord is always with us in the same way. Only we are those ones who are turning our back away and misusing our free will for the things, for the wrong things. And that's why we rotate in this material world. And in the moment when we understand, oh, this is not good, we should behave properly, we should develop the proper character, this place is not for us, and we should associate more with the mode of goodness so that we can become more thoughtful, more self aware. I cannot remember. I forgot the word that I use the most. Self, not a self. Thinking, thoughtful, reflective, self-inquiry. Self-aware. Anyway, thank you so much for the beautiful words. We expanded because every word actually has its own projection from each one of us, but now we expanded. So we become more aware of what we are doing, what we want in our life, and we start.
Typically, God would not help us achieve our desires. He would ask us not to have any desires because desires actually lead to not fulfilled. Not all desires get fulfilled.
Yeah.
And so there is a distress and there is mistrust, and that leads to a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about tamasic and other things.
Yes.
Said that Paramatma is helping us achieve our desire.
Yeah.
Ideally, he should make sure that we have less desires or no desires at all.
No, because He loves us, He doesn't want to intrude in our free will. As a part and a parcel of the Supreme Lord, we have the free will. And with that free will, we can do whatever we want. It's not a problem of desires. Desire our nature. That's our nature, our soul, that we have desires. But the problem is if we have material desires. If we have desires to be in that virtual reality, enjoy with the Brad Pitt and all of these things, that's the problem. If we have spiritual desires, there is no problem. But there is different traditions. Some traditions want to kill desires because they say desires are problems and they produce misery, which is true. So they want to kill desires. That's a path of renunciation, like Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. They want to kill desires. But Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, they want to transform desires. They want to transform desires to make spiritual desires because they are natural to us. So those ones who want to kill desires, they want naturally to go for liberation. And then there, they fulfill their spiritual things. But Bhakti Yogis and Karma Yogis, they try to transform our consciousness. We don't want to enjoy selfishly. We want to serve and please others. We want to please the Supreme Lord. So we transform the nature of those desires that are in line with our true nature. And then we are not anymore influenced by all of these modes. We are not anymore influenced by all of those modes of the nature, karma, time, and all of this. Because we are in line with our true nature. And then we connect freely and help others. And those are the self-realized souls. They can then help others how to go out of that illusion. So, yeah, different processes. Yes.
In your example for Natalia, right? For Natalia to get out of the video game, I can see how she can get out by gaining knowledge and by understanding how everything is done, and by this, like, she gets out.
Yes.
Understand how she gets out by doing a practice and like systematically lowering her karma, and by this step for step on realizing and also
Yes.
getting out. But how does she get out? By praying to Alex.
Yeah, so this is a good question.
So how's the bhakti?
Yeah, so this is the question. So there is different paths of self-realization which are given by Alex. So he gives different paths for different people, because it's not only Natalie that came in this virtual reality, he helped many other friends to be part of that virtual reality, and they have different nature. Some people are more intellectual, they like to read, so gives them philosophy, like, oh, this is not real. If Jnana Yogis comes, okay, stop me if I go too far. But if Jnana Yogi comes, he will see the cake and he will break it down to the atoms. Oh, this is sugar, white flour, sunflower oil, not virgin, but like this other kind, and all of this is totally tasteless. But by its combination, it I would say attracts me. But if I put it in my body, I will get diabetes, cholesterol, and all of these things. It will affect me in a totally wrong way. So I don't want this. This cake, throw it away as far as possible. If they see children, then they say, oh, this is mine. Like it will just produce unlimited miseries and all of these things. So they try to break up this nature of this world as an illusion, as like it will produce unhappiness. And that's the path of renunciation. It requires becoming a renunciate, becoming a sannyasi, and going in that way to get to self-realization, so that we can go out of this world. There is other way of dhyana yogas who try to, by meditation, going inside ourselves, trying to connect and understand what is our true nature, and then when we understand and connect what is our true nature, then connecting with the Supreme Lord as a Paramatma and understanding how to re-establish that relationship, which is also part of austerity, tapasya, and renunciation. That's why yogis, if you sing Tapovan, a place where tapasya, austerities were being done in the forest, Tapovan. Tapa means austerities, Van means a forest. So this was a forest where yogis were doing austerities to go inside of themselves to realize who they truly are. Now it's a little different. But whatever. But then Bhakti Yogis, they do it differently. If Bhakti Yogi understands, he uses knowledge to understand what is our nature, who is the Supreme Lord, but they don't break up everything. They understand who to dedicate themselves. When Krishna speaks Bhagavad Gītā to Arjuna, he goes through all the processes. When he starts speaking about Bhakti Yoga, you know what he starts with? Transcendental knowledge. That's the 7th chapter. He starts speaking about knowledge, because we just cannot give our heart to anybody. We need to know who we give our heart to, who we take shelter of. We need to understand who we are, what is the true essence. It's not sentimentalism. People think that Bhakti Yoga is just opening heart chakra and just throwing our heart everywhere, but it's not. It's understanding our relationship with the Supreme Lord and then engaging in a loving relationship with Him in a proper way. So that's why knowledge is also there. That's why there is also meditation, mantra meditation, and different aspects, how we can tune our consciousness and connect with ourselves. So there is different elements, like these colors that we're saying RGB, but Bhakti Yoga makes the emphasis on taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, because we understand He is, by the knowledge, by the realizations, He is the one ultimately who is all powerful, all loving, and who knows what is best for us. So let us take shelter in Him like a small child. Mommy! And then Mommy comes. Not because of our strength of austerities, of our yogic perfection, about understanding all the atoms and all the material creation, but by just taking shelter in the right direction. We don't take shelter in a rock and say, rock! We understand who is our Mommy, what is our relationship, who is the Supreme Lord, and take shelter in Him. And then she comes and pulls us out. and helps us. And then more confidence that we see, more realizations, more wisdom, we can take more shelter. And it can help us to come to the level of self-realization, pure self-realization, and pure love that we're all seeking for. And then Bhagavan realization. Could you connect? It's a whole lecture that is going to be spoken about with Kaustuba next week. And not only that, he is also going to give tomorrow a class. All of these things that I'm speaking, I have learned from him and few other teachers. So he's a really amazing personality. If I would advise you to come to such kind of wisdom class, I would maybe put 5 people who I would recommend. He would be one of those 5. Really amazing personality, really knows how to present wisdom in a lucid, clear, and sensitive way so that we can understand and it can touch our hearts. So tomorrow he's going to be speaking on Bhagavad Gītā, which this knowledge also comes from. And we are also going to have kirtan, so you're all welcome. It will be 6 o'clock with a kirtan like today, and a talk after. So he may touch more deeply into that subject. This is just a short overview.
Will you repeat the same subject tomorrow?
Not same type subject, but there is many subjects that he can present, so it will be very interesting. This was like, you know when you try to order something and you want to order a cheap version, and then you go to AliExpress, you know? it looks the same and it feels the same, but it's not the same. So you will see what is the original tomorrow if you come. Or the whole next week you are welcome to come, so you will see how it...
Is he there for the next entire week?
Yes.
And will he be here every day in the evening?
Not every day, but he will be here a couple of times next week also. And we are going to have tomorrow Gita talk with him. And Saturday we are going to have a kirtan with one amazing kirtaniya that is coming tomorrow. So next 10 days is going to be really exciting, I'm really honestly telling you. And on Sunday we are going to have a trip with Kaustuba. So he's going to guide us on a few places and show us, you know, like some processes of bhakti, why the temples are there, how is it functioning, the deities, not artificially doing things, but understanding what are the principles behind it.
Are we walking around?
Yes,
Yeah,
walking in the beautiful places next to Mother Ganga, having kirtan and visiting one place where there is a self-manifest deity millenniums old. So it's explained in Vedic scriptures, millenniums old deity. And deity that the whole Rishikesh got the name from. It's Rishikesh Narayan, very special place. And it will be very wonderful. So, yeah. Sunday. So, you can see it on the posters, and in front we will be starting, and we will be sending in a group. If you want to find more, you can join the group, and you can approach me also afterwards. But it will be starting around 10:30 from Tapova, or 11 meeting in one place, and coming back around 2:30.
Day after tomorrow is also the Kirtan.
Yes, amazing Kirtan that will be here with Purushottam Prabhu. He is amazing Kirtaniya. And it will be...
Next for the 10 days.
Next 10 days will be ecstatic. So...
All starting from the office.
Yes. So, thank you so much. Thank you for accepting me, opening your hearts and minds, and allowing me to share some wisdom that I also got as a present from my teachers, and through the practice experienced some things. I'm very happy. Actually, me and my wife came here to Rishikesh because we got so many jewels, and then we saw that people also are here, beautiful and amazing souls that are looking for jewels and exchanging the jewels between each other. It's such a beautiful process, isn't it? It's wonderful. So I'm very happy that we can do this. And thank you for coming. We will also have dinner now served. We prepared something with the MBT, with the help of the MBT for you. So you are welcome to stay. Associate more. We are trying to make here a community, a place where everybody feels welcomed. And if you need anything, please approach me.